BTS Jungkook speaks out about Jimin, his comments melt fans' hearts. Revolving hearts in a recent interview that shocked fans around the world, BTS's Jungkook finally opened up about Jimin, and his words made ARMY's heart melt instantly. With a gentle tone and an expression full of sincerity, Jungkook revealed how Jimin has always been a valuable figure to him, not only as a group mate, but also as someone he admires and respects personally. Jimin always had a unique way of making people around him feel calm. He never forces anything, but his presence alone can calm everyone, including me, Jungkook said with a shy smile. Sometimes I think the world is lucky to have someone like him. The simple speech instantly made the ARMY around the world uproar. Many judged Jungkook's lines to be sincere and full of meaning, illustrating how deep the emotional connection between the two was. In fact, some fans who watched the interview said they could see how Jungkook's eyes lit up a little every time he mentioned Jimin's name, as if there were sweet memories stored behind his words. It didn't take long. Pieces of the interview video immediately went viral on social media. Hashtags such as #Jungkook about Jimin, #JungkookHeart, and #Jungkook Confession dominated global trending topics in just a matter of hours. Many ARMY members wrote emotional comments, calling it one of Jungkook's warmest confessions about his relationship with Jimin. Some even called it Jungkook's most honest moment of the year. Shortly after the interview was released, Jimin appeared on the Weverse platform and wrote a short message. "I am also grateful to have someone as good as him in my life." That sentence is quite short, but for the ARMY, it means so much. Many believe the message was Jimin's reply to Jungkook's remarks, a gentle communication that can only be understood by those who take Jungkook's dynamics to heart, not only fans, but even some Korean media also highlighted the moment, calling it a clear example of closeness and mutual respect between BTS members. Articles discussing the moment described Jungkook and Jimin's relationship as something rooted in trust and respect, something that had been built up since their trainee days. In the same interview segment, Jungkook also shared how Jimin was always present at important times in his life. "He was the first to encourage me whenever I doubted. Sometimes I'm too hard on myself, but he always says, 'You've had enough, Jungkook,' and that's something I never forget." The speech made the studio atmosphere suddenly silent. Even the host of the show seemed moved. Many fans later wrote, "It wasn't just a compliment, it was a form of affection." Another added, "They grew up together, supporting each other, and that's why their bond feels so strong." This is not the first time Jungkook has shown respect and admiration for Jimin. On various previous occasions, he also often mentioned Jimin's name when talking about the figure who gave him inspiration. However, this time it felt different. There was a deeper sincerity and warmth, as if Jungkook wanted the world to know how important Jimin was in his life and career journey. Not a few ARMY who hope that the two can perform together again in a duet project in the future, considering their chemistry is always stunning on stage. Fans believe that this statement could be a sign that they are preparing something together, whether it's a music project, a documentary, or just a personal moment that will again thrill fans around the world. The moment when Jungkook said softly, "Jimin is like a little light that never goes out around me," became a sentence that is now quoted and shared thousands of times. Many consider that this is a form of honesty and love that can only be born from someone who truly understands the meaning of true friendship. And as always, ARMY's reactions were full of love, some crying, some smiling as they rewrote Jungkook's words, and others tenderly writing on social media, "If the world has Jimin for Jungkook, then ARMY has BTS forever." It didn't take long after Jungkook's sweet statement circulated. Cyberspace really shook. In less than 2 hours, video footage of the interview has been viewed millions of times on platform X, Twitter, and TikTok. ARMYs from all over the world filled the timeline with emotional reactions. Some laughed happily. Others admitted that they were moved to tears by the sincerity of the relationship between the two. Under the hashtag Jungkook about Jimin, thousands of fans shared snippets of the clip, analyzed Jungkook's facial expressions, and paid attention to his every lip movement when pronouncing the name Jimin. One fan wrote, "The way Jungkook looks down with a smile while talking about Jimin is not an ordinary expression. It was the gaze of someone who harbored such deep admiration and respect." Meanwhile, Korean media such as Dispatch, Koreaboo, and Naver Entertainment immediately carried news with warm headlines. Dispatch wrote, "Jungkook's statement about Jimin proves that their friendship has crossed time limits and industry pressures." Naver says Jungkook's words are a sincere tribute to someone who has been a big part of his life since he was a teenager. Not only Korean media, international outlets such as Rolling Stone and Vogue also highlighted the moment. They cite Jungkook and Jimin as a vivid example of a bond rarely found in the modern entertainment world. BTS is not just a music group, they're a family that grew up together, and Jungkook-Jimin's dynamic shows the real depth of emotion behind the sparkles of their global popularity, Vogue wrote in its article. Most interestingly, some of the fans who attended the interview directly told the atmosphere in the studio. They said that Jungkook was silent for a moment before answering the question about Jimin, as if trying to choose the most appropriate word so as not to overdo it, but still be honest. He stared blankly for a few seconds, then smiled softly before saying that Jimin was someone who made his life feel lighter. One viewer said Jimin's own reaction was also in the spotlight. After writing a short message on Weverse, she was seen showing up at the airport a few hours later on her way to a meeting with Dior's brand ambassador. When the reporter asked if he had watched Jungkook's interview, Jimin just smiled and replied quietly, "I know. I've seen it. He always knew how to make me smile." The sentence made fans who heard it immediately scream with happiness, and the video went viral on various platforms. Army around the world considers this moment a subtle but powerful form of emotional communication between two figures who already understand each other without saying much. Many write that this is no longer just an interaction of colleagues, but rather a reflection of the deep relationship that they have built for more than a decade. In some fan communities, discussions about the meaning behind Jungkook's words even lasted for hours. Some believe that this is a symbolic gesture of something they are preparing together, perhaps a duet project or a long-awaited major collaboration. Others said that moments like this are a reminder of the beginning of BTS's journey full of struggle, and how Jimin has always been a figure who keeps Jungkook's spirit in difficult times. Interestingly, a few hours after the interview was trending, HYB's official account shared an old photo from the time of BTS's debut with the caption, "Some things never change: warmth, laughter, and togetherness." The ARMY immediately took the post as a form of implied support for the closeness of Jimin and Jungkook, who have always been a symbol of brotherhood in the group. Not only fans were excited, a number of Korean celebrities also responded. One of the younger generation idols wrote on his Instagram story, "Jungkook's sentence about Jimin made me realize that even the entertainment world still has room for sincere relationships." Many netizens judged that the influence of the two of them goes far beyond music. They inspire people to value friendship and pure love.